easily sort of bounced to the right now. A good birdie opportunity coming up. This is always one of the tough holes. And up on top of that hill, though, is that pesky little downhill par 3.
And Jason Day is up on the tee of number 11.
Just a gap wedge because of the elevation, plays a club and a half down. A lot of hang time, though.
Couple of wins on tour, 4th in the FedEx Cup points race. Jason telling me on Wednesday how much he enjoys playing here. Just the perfect time of the season for this event. Patrick Reed playing his 2nd at 10. Got to make something happen here on this back 9 to be around for the weekend.
72 yesterday, but is certainly moving in the right direction. Another great iron shot. Well, it'll never get old calling him the Masters champion.
We come up to the 18th, middle of the fairway. Johnson, he was not in the middle of the fairway on the prior hole.
He should not be 8 under par. I'm telling you. He should not be 8 under par. There is an explanation for that. What a shot there. Just gets over that.
We'll show you in a little bit, Frank, what he did at 17. It was one of those pars of the year type.
It was bizarre. It doesn't make sense.
Just don't tell me.
Okay.
Just hang around for a couple minutes. We'll show you. Let's take a look at today's leaderboard. Brought to you by Callaway, the #1 irons in golf. Brian Harmon, 64 day 1, backs it up with a 66. Matt Jones working on 5 under through 12, and they share the lead at -10. Zach Johnson, who was up there overnight along with Jordan Spieth. Zach 1 under to this point. Chance to go low? Absolutely. Bubba Watson did just that, especially his finish, 63, joining McIlroy and Lanzo Griffin tied in 8th. Mike Tirico, Frank Balpolo, good to be with you all here on this Friday. Frank, sometimes like early, late, and we're talking about the U.S. Open, many tournaments. But here, when you are early Thursday, late Friday, sometimes you get to the golf course on Friday, and guys have taken it deep, because you can do that at this golf course, and you're out of the picture. But that didn't happen with the leaders this morning. So a chance for the guys we're watching right now to put themselves right in the middle of this thing.
You're absolutely right. If you polled the guys that are going to have a late tee-off time this afternoon, they would not be surprised if they were sort of trailing Spieth, or McIlroy by about 10 shots. The general consensus was they would probably, at least one of them would get to 12 or 14 under par. And you're right, that didn't happen, yet it was great scoring conditions. That's why we saw a 63 for Bubba Watson. Now, that being said, and the deck sort of being cleared for this afternoon, there's a great chance for these guys really to take advantage of what you've already described, good golfing conditions. Overcast sky means that flag sticks out. Not enough wind really to be problematic, and green's still receptive. They haven't dried out that much yet.
I want to hear what you think about Brooks Koepka. You watched him go through it all and win the U.S. Open. That takes so much out. It takes a lot of anyone to win any tournament, especially the grind that was the U.S. Open. Honors his commitment. He said, I haven't played a lot. So he went home for a couple days, got here Wednesday, had a great front 9 yesterday. Then he said, I started to feel the adrenaline wear out. What are you looking for from him as we watch him today?
I'm just watching a star develop. Our good friend Curtis Strange, I'm glad he got the publicity because for so long that record of having been the last player to win back-to-back US Opens, I mean, that was such a great achievement. When you consider what Brooks has done on 2 totally different types of golf courses, he almost got critiqued last year for Erin Hill's just being a blaster's paradise. Right. So when you put him on an old classic like Shinnecock, and people were saying, no, there's no way he can do it back-to-back. It's a different type of golf. The fact that he could rein his game in, go head-to-head with Dustin Johnson on Sunday, sort of out-putt him and out-finish him, I think that was the most impressive thing about his performance last week.
This is a back 9 where you can go low. We'll see if Koepka can do that, along with the other players in that marquee group. And speaking of marquee, our announced team, Matt Gogol, former Players Champion Craig Perks, Billy Ray Brown, the winner here in 1991. They'll describe the action when the guys are done. George Savaricas will be waiting to speak with them. Let's go back to 10, and Koepka putting for birdie. Craig.
Thank you very much, Mike. It's from about 20 feet down the hill. Billy Ray Brown out with this group today.
Thank you so much, Craig. A little different win the players having to contend with today. That was a good look there for Koepka.
Up to the 11th.
Jason Day trying to grab a birdie. Just 142 yards today, the 11th. Not bad. Good effort. Aggressive putt. Trying to get 3 under par. We'll go back to 10.
And Patrick Reed, 3 under on his round today with a birdie at the 3rd, eagle at the 6th, but shot 72 yesterday, so currently 1 outside the cut line, but About 15 feet here, Billy Ray up the hill.
Left in a perfect position, played a great second shot from 165 yards. His putt doesn't have a lot of break. Coming back up the hill, can be aggressive with it.
Coming off that solo fourth last week at the US Open. Last 3 majors he's played. Second at the PGA, won the Masters, as Frank Knobler mentioned, and 4th. So he's up for the big stage. I would say that would be a poor effort. So 27-year-old will remain at 1 under for the tournament. 10 is ordinarily was the toughest hole on the golf course yesterday. You would be somewhat satisfied with a 4, but not having the 15-footer straight up the hill. And we head up to the 13th, the par 5, Matt Jones. Whole location way in the back portion of the green. You see in the background there, that's the 14th tee, so he may wait for those guys to clear.
Nice to see him getting his game back of recent, Craig.
Yeah, no question about it. Talk about simplistic motion there. Just trying to turn it from right to left, and that is not a good spot. The sphere in the slope of the green, everything runs away from that flag. Poor miss there for the Australian. Honouring the black ribbon there, Peter Thompson. Now Brooks Koepka just cleaning up his par. Nicely done. Mike Trico mentioned it. He hasn't played a lot of golf with that. He was out about 4 months with that partially torn tendon in his left wrist, just making his 9th start of the year. To 11.
Xander Schauffele for his par. -1, just 1 off the cut line. Now 2. He's going to need some birdies. Rookie of the year last year. Everybody's goal at the beginning of the year is to get to the Tour Championship. He did it as a rookie, and he won it. There's the cut line. It might slip to -1, but I wouldn't bank on that. Over to 18.
And Zach Johnson, this for birdie. First 9 holes for Zach here. Started on 10.
Jesus Christ.
Good effort.
So through 9 holes, it's 1 birdie and 8 pars. Let's go back, Frank. What happened here at 17?
Well, he found the hazard. He took forever. You can drop it equidistant, but he had 234 yards back over water. How it gets on the green, I mean, that was some hit to get there. And look at the contours taking this to, well, just inside 6 feet. I mean, it's ridiculous second shot.
And the big story, he's dropping over by 16 tee.
Yeah.
His 17 is way on the left side of that water hazard. So he's on the right side, on the front of 16 tee. Gets the applause and the welcome. What a terrific shot. And this for par.
I mean, that was some traveling.
And you can tell the sheepishness here. You just want to make sure you got to count them all. Did I really make 4? Yeah, 1 and 2 out. 3 and 16 tee. Yeah, 4. Par.
I don't know how they got a yardage. I was checking my yardage book. I mean, talk about a circular ring. That's the 17th hole, the one he should be on the left of the screen. You've got to pan all the way across the water to the par 3 you've just referenced. They had to guesstimate a yardage from over there. You know, that is some serious trigonometry, right?
That's right. And the way Zach likes to move the ball, you're taking it over the folks over there, the travelers.
Crazy.
Hospitality, and
Hey,
simple deal. Par there, par here.
just to sit 8, 1 birdie, 8 pars.
You can look it up on a scorecard on a computer, but when you see it happen, it lasts with you. So Zach Johnson, our overnight co-leader with Jordan Spieth, who dropped back today, by the way. Jordan shot 3 over par 73, but Zach Johnson, 1 under his first 9. He is 2 off the lead as he heads to the front. We head up to the par 3 11th.
Well, Jason Day did tap in for par, so he remains 1 over on his round, 3 under for the tournament. And that's a pretty good drop from that tee box down to the green. Only 142 yards on the card, but Billy Ray, they got to take off at least a club.
Well, at least a club here. That breeze a little from right to left right now. Patrick Reed has gone back to the bag. He originally had sandwich, and that was going to be a big hit coming down the slope, playing more like 125 yards.
And the fourth easiest hole today on the golf course. Field as a whole has played this hole 16 under par.
He made that switch to a gap wedge here. Good line here, just right of the flag.
Yeah, half club off. On the putting surface, though.
That whole location on the left-hand side, certainly inviting for the players. Looks like you can take dead aim. Green does slope a little bit from right to left. If you get it right of the flag, land that hole up.
Check out the data. Top tracer technology presented by Bright House Financial. We get some great numbers and a great result within a foot and a half of the hole. Brooks Koepka looking like he's going to get a birdie there at the 11th. Friday action, second round of the Travelers Championship. 2 at the top at -10.
J.J. Henry, one of the past champions in the field. Birdie chance here. This is at the 9th, so that's going to be 1 over 36 for Henry. Over at the 18th, second shot for Ryan Armour into the par 4. Under par week going for Armour. Already a victory early in the season. Jeff Ogilvy for birdie at 9. Jeff jumped into the commentary box with Mike and Frank for a spell yesterday. Quickly back to 18. Looks like Brad Snedeker drove it into the fairway bunker. And recovered nicely. Another former champion over at the 9th, Kevin Streelman. Oh, beautiful save there for Streelman. 64-64 weekend en route to the title for Kevin in 2014. Punctuated by 7 straight birdies to close the deal on Sunday. Road shot in flight for Emiliano Grillo at 18. And a good look at birdie for the Argentine to move to -4. JJ cleaning up par 9. 2005 champion here in his home state of Connecticut. Hoping to produce a Ryder Cup berth for JJ Henry. Recently made his 500th start on the tour earlier this season. Got his card early in his career and kept it for a long time. Alex Cheka. Approach shot here at the 9th. That was from just inside 130 yards, and it just peels off into the collar.
Yeah, back at the 11th, Brooks Koepka. My other guys in his group are fixing ball marks and doing a little maintenance. He's going to walk up and tap this 1 foot 9 inch putt in for birdie 2. 3 birdies, couple of bogeys, so maybe he'll get on fire. Over to 13.
Matt Jones is third at par 5. Difficult. Everything runs away from him. Very nicely done. An uphill putt. The man actually had to go back to Web.com Tour Finals last year to regain his status. Played well at the Atlantic Beach Country Club at Web.com Tour Championship. Back to 11.
Patrick Reed having one of the better rounds in the afternoon wave. 3 under so far through 10 holes.
Yeah, this putt coming back up the hill. And another misread there by Patrick.
Pretty good so far today, though, after a disappointing first round. Over to 12.
First look at this 398-yard par 4. Jason Day's second.
Obviously didn't use a long club off the tee, laying back. It's a lengthy second shot. Gonna have to go up and over a ridge in the middle of this green.
13.
Yeah, about 15 feet up the hill for Matt Jones. It's a par on the par 5, but the only man bogey free in the field this week, and currently tied for the lead.
Craig, you imagine if he played this, they'd get round in 2 hours, wouldn't they?
There was no one in front of them, might be actually under that, 145. You blink, you miss it. You go up to the 16th hole and Jamie Lovemark, par 3, just 157 yards today, a dangerous front left hole location. Well, not for Jamie. Two one.
Great place to start your round here. This whole birdie opportunity oftentimes. Zach Johnson's 10th hole of the day.
Trying to slow the draw. See the gentle tilt of this hole from players right to left.
Oh, throwing way back in there. 33 paces back on this green. Now here on the PGA Tour, you don't need a club in your hand to live under par. Find new ways to celebrate all that's great about being a fan at liveunderpar.com. Play those fans every tour stop, especially here in Hartford over the weekend. Cromwell, Connecticut, to be precise, Travelers Championship. This good field and a very good leaderboard as we get close to the halfway point. Be right back.
Par 3 16th. Hole location up front today. Birdie attempt coming down the slope for John Huff. Kind of putt you're pumping the brakes with from the top shelf there. And he still has left it above the hole. Over at 9. Helps Chaka for birdie. Three bogeys in his opening 6 holes today, knocking Chaka outside of the cut line. Currently at -1 for the tournament. Back at 16, this is Harris English for bogey. Found the water with his tee shot.
No. Oh no.
He's going to drop 2 rather. He's going to fall over par.
God man, hoe is dat ding gestoken joh?
Danny Lee for birdie over at the 9th. Two over par second round for Lee. He's at -1. Another player outside the number. Beautiful tee shot into 16 for Jamie Lovemark. Can't convert that short one. It is slippery, even from 5 feet away, as that one was. Back of the 9th once more. CT Pan with a birdie chance, which he knocks down. Pan out in 35. John Huff a par over at 16. Not the first short miss we've seen from above the hole at the par 3, nor the last today.
Off that kick-in birdie at the 11th, Brooks Koepka 12-2.
Well, this 12th hole has become much more difficult with the wind back in their face here.
Finds those 3 bunkers, church pew-esque bunkers, framing the right side of this 12th. Ahead 113.
And Russell Henley second at the 13th. Played well last last week and actually was leading the first day US Open, and a gorgeous shot there for Mr. Henley. Back to 12.
And Patrick Reed.
A different type of shot for Reed here, more the draw.
Yeah, this starts down the center of the fairway, turning pretty hard to the left. Needs a good kick.
Softly. But it got a nice little soft roll back into the fairway, so at least it's in the short stuff. But on the left side, hole on the right, 16.
5.5 feet for Jamie Lutmart. Little movement from right to left. That would be disappointing. 6th year on tour for Jamie and has all the physical skills. Still looking to break through win. 2-1.
Zach Johnson just missed the screen.
Nice little stubby chip there. That was deliberate. Just picked it up, dropped the club back on the back.
He had a fabulous run of birdies yesterday, 6 in a row, and he almost had 70, so he almost chipped in at 10 to get that stretch going. As we come back up to the green at 12, Jason Day.
And a putt for Day coming up and over that ridge. Just cuts through the middle of the green. After it gets above that, it's just how much it'll turn left when it slows down.
Jason Day's got to go here a little bit. 1 over through 11. As mentioned, cut a couple under par for the moment. 1 over for the day, 3 under for this round, or for the tournament, I should say. Zach Johnson did tap in at 1, so he remains 2 back.
Not bad. It's one area of this game that has really got back to the stellar heights. 2 years ago when he got to #1 in the world.
We talk about Jason being former #1. He's at #9. Got a few guys who've held that #1 spot briefly. 5 of the top 9 in the world in this field, and all look like they will be around for the weekend. As you look at the numbers so far, watching Brooks Koepka and Jason Day here this afternoon. Justin Thomas, Jordan Spieth, Rory McIlroy all playing this morning. Rory shot 69. As we go ahead, 1 to the 13th.
It was a gorgeous shot from 250 for Russell Henley, just 35 feet up the hill. This to get to 10 under and tie the lead. Actually, excuse me, that would have actually been the outright lead for the Eagle. So the tap and birdie will get him into a tie. And he finished 25th last week. 3 wins on the tour. The 29-year-old certainly playing well, and now a 3-way tie at the top. Second round coverage of the Travelers Championship at gorgeous TPC River Highlands.
Second shot at the 9th here for Keith Mitchell. And a very solid rookie season. Thanks to shots like that one. Mitchell was the runner-up in Punta Cana. James Hahn, tough little third shot here, just flipping one over the brow of the bunker at 18. Took that bunker completely out of play. Back at 9, Richie Goosen ready to go with his second from 135. A chance for a third birdie in a 4-hole stretch. Ches Reevy's third shot at 18 with the putter. Reevy's season's cooled off since that torrid stretch. They went back-to-back. TPC Scottsdale and Pebble Beach. Still 24th in the FedEx Cup race. This is rookie Taylor Gooch next to play at 9. Looking like it's going to be a short week for Taylor Gooch at 6 over par. 18 one more time. Shane Birch has a chance for birdie. Birch at +1 will make the cut, even par 35. Make the turn, rather, 35.
And back live here at 12. See if Jason Day can stack up a third consecutive par.
It's a good putting stroke. Really
Come on.
breaks down. Now he gets to the sneaky good part of the golf course, par 5. Anything can happen there. The drivable par 4, 15th. Of course, that sort of triangular finish.
Yeah, love that excitement around there. It's been a very busy golf day here on Golf Channel. If you're watching the American Family Insurance Open earlier today, we'll continue with second round coverage tomorrow at 5 Eastern Time. They're at University Ridge, beautiful golf course in Madison, Wisconsin. No surprise, Steve Stricker plays the role of host for this week. And is doing quite well. He's leading by 1 over Brad Bryant, Colin Montgomery, John Daly, Bernhard Longer. Some big names on their board as well. Check that out. Golf Channel tomorrow, and of course, finishing on Sunday. 14.
Co-leader Matt Jones, second shot into the short par 4, down the hill. Not bad above the hole. That'll be a pretty quick putt, but the way he's been playing, the way he's been putting, shouldn't be much problem at all. Back to 12.
Billy Ray Brown's been a tough go here for Webb Simpson, playing his 4th of the par 4.
It certainly has. Webb hit his tee shot left over the fence, out of bounds, played his 3rd from the tee, and now with his 4th from the center of the fairway. 138 yards in this whole location, an extreme back portion on the right-hand side. Tough to get at.
Trying to get it tight, make something happen. Instead, it's going to be a bigger number. And might put making the cut a bit out of reach here for the Players' Champion. Back to Patrick Reed, who's had a bunch of top 10s since the start of March.
He certainly has, and he has driven in the perfect place, left-hand side of the fairway. Great angle to that back right.
Get in, get in, get in. Oh, yes.
Playing back in the breeze. 3/4 shot there, trying to flat it down from 133 yards.
Yes.
That is busy over there. Not much green to work with for his 3rd.
It was only a yard or 2 away from getting that nice friendly kick. Speaking of a yard or 2, it's perhaps a yard or 2 too close to that lip for Koepka.
Yeah, right underneath the lip of the bunker and steep face. And using every bit of strength he has to try to muscle it up there.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. I mean, he advanced it at least 100 yards, so just about as good as he can do from that position.
The 3 guys who've won the 3 biggest tournaments of the year. Nobody on that 14th green in regulation. The 12th green, I should say, as we come back to Jason Day on the tee at 13.
Little different hole today. The 13th back into the wind out of the left. Just 538 is the par 5. Jason will have no trouble reaching the green as long as he can get it in the fairway. He's only hit 4 fairways today. Trying to hit a few more cuts. I saw him in the practice round. Took it off that final bunker and cut it back to the center. That is absolutely ideal. Maybe just a mid to long iron from there to the second.
Short par 4, 351 yards. Zach Johnson, as usual, placed right in the middle of the fairway. Just a sand wedge in. That back hole location, guys don't want to go long. Kind of falls off, so not the ideal shot for what Zach was looking for. Over to 14, and this downhill birdie to take the lead. And another good effort. Only player in the field without a bogey this week. Got about 2.5 feet left. Over to 15.
Yeah, Bo Hostler having a pretty good day here. Here he is on the tee at the 15th, drivable par 4.
Well, it did find that very bunker.
It did. 12.
Koepka nearly flies it all the way.
Yeah, it's a pretty difficult shot. He had a couple options there to take it over that ridge, in which he did, or go out to the left, took the aggressive line. He'll have about 15 feet left for his par. Will Koepka.
Yeah, had a good run when he got his round started on this side on Thursday, getting going on 10. Of all the players who really would have benefited from going late early, it was Koepka after spending a couple of days back in Florida after the U.S. Open. All the emotions, everything that goes with it, and then get it restarted out here Wednesday for a little bit of practice. And then right at it early Thursday morning and put up a good first 9 holes. Ended up with a good score overall on day 1.
And Mike, I spoke to him in the 10th fairway and asked him about if he was pretty spent. He's certainly wiped out right now, he said. Not from a physical standpoint, but from a mental standpoint.
As we said, full credit for honoring the commitment. Patrick Reed out of this bunker here now, Billy, right?
Not much green to work with, but he's got just uphill lie that's going to help him stop this ball. And landed in about the spot you wanted to. If he lands it short there, it would land on the downslope and run away from the player. So just about the best he could do from there.
Yeah, went at it hard to try and create some spin.
And Webb Simpson over the green.
It's got very little from here, that's for sure.
Not much at all. He's only got about 10 feet of green to work with, trying to run it up the slope.
It was pretty close to being pretty good.
It certainly was.
That's about all you could do there to keep it on that side of the hole location, but a double here, and you'll have to do something really special the last 6 holes.
And Matt Jones cleaning up for par to stay bogey-free for the week. I'll head over to that short but entertaining par 4, 15th, drivable. Bradley Whittle, his caddy, saying keep it going. And we're at 15 now.
Yeah, a guy who loves New England, where his roots are, Keegan Bradley. As PGA champion, Frank, this is a hole, so much can happen.
Well, he just rang the bell. You know the reason why.
That's... those are 2 sounds that you do not like to hear. The gong and the splash.
What makes it so good, though? I mean, it's only 262 yards to the front. Everybody can reach it. But everybody can reach the water as we go back to Zach.
My ears are still hurting.
I wonder, Zach's up on the hill above the 15th hole. I wonder if he heard that.
I didn't realize it was the Gong Show, but
Looks like Zach will be clear of everybody, so he'll tap that in for par, remain a couple back. 1 under on his round today. Get it teed off on 10. So finishing his 11th hole, has plenty of birdie opportunities still to come. Still the best par of the year, back on 17. Let's go back to 12.
And Patrick Reed trying to save par here.
Well, he's hit 2 putts at 10-11. Not his best efforts, but this one is back up the hill. Again, not a lot of break.
that's what happened Sunday, just a few days ago. Mike, remember, got off to that torrid start. 500
for 7.
Yeah, for 7. Actually, bogeyed 9 to go out in 31. If he came back in 34, he's in a playoff for the man he's playing with right now. It's some attempt at winning back-to-back majors.
And he said after he got 5 under through 7 there, knowing what was going on, starting the day 3 shots back, he said, kind of thought that he's going to have a chance maybe to go Masters, then U.S. Open. And the feeling was great because it was that same Masters feeling, being in contention in a major in that moment. And Brooks Koepka's talked about leaning on the experience of winning the U.S. Open the year before. Unable to save here, so sloppy from these 3 players.
Yeah. But that distance on Sunday, Koepka was just clutch. Oh, absolutely clutch.
You talk about saving par. The saves that he made in the middle of that back 9 on Sunday, that's the stuff of a champion. Really was. And it's a guy who's only won 3 times, 2 of them being the U.S. Open, but you can see so much more ahead for him and the confidence that he has to have in his game and everything when you can go and back it up with another U.S. Open title.
When people actually look back at his career now, his stint in Europe, went to the equivalent of the web.com, had 3 wins on what they call the Challenge Tour, then 1 on their big tour, and fought his way back home.
Webb Simpson trying to take a look at this button for 6. It's so good to be in Ponte Vedra Beach to watch Webb also have a tremendous Sunday under pressure at the Players' Championship.
It was a great driving exhibition.
It was.
His lack of length, you might say, compared to a Kipta. He was forced to hit driver in a lot of holes. People were going with shorter clubs.
Disappointing day. Triple there, 5 over par. Cut line right around 2 under. Brian Harmon and Matt Jones on top of the board here at the Travelers.
One of the best rounds of the day going, Cameron Tringali, who's 4 under for the day. As he plays the 18th. Birdied 5 of his first 6 holes and has rushed inside the cut line. So as Tringali navigates the 18th, low opening 9 of the afternoon wave, we'll check in on the group here at 50. Seaford comes up short with that birdie attempt. He'll remain at 5 under par. Good week going. One of the 4 Monday qualifiers to play his way into the event this week. He's made the most of the opportunity. Hunter Mahan, one of the past champions here, back in 2007. Much room beat the hole at 18. He squeezed one in there. Mahan at -1. Back at 16. Sam Ryder, the rookie, having just made birdie over at 15, gets a -2. Ryder coming into the week 150th in FedEx Cup points in his first season out here. This is Sam Ryder for birdie at 16. Short tap in ahead of him to stay at -2.
Hostler found it in the bunker. Second shot here at 50. 1 off the lead.
He's got a wave of mounds he has to negotiate. It's drivable, but it can be a real pesky hole.
Do you like it? Do you like this?
I do. I know. I love it. Also where it is, because everybody in the field can reach it. It's not just the longest hitters.
13.
And Jason Day, 228 new set of irons in play this week. Into a forward blade with a little cavity in it to help him fade the ball. Nice little high draw. That back hole location may work. Oh boy. Well, you would assume thin and out to the right. And he has the best short game on tour, and it's going to be tested right there. Lengthy bunk shot over the slope, down the swale. Not his best. And 1 over par today, so a little out of sorts for Jason Day. Back on the tee, Brooks Koepka with driver.
Yeah, a little breeze is kicked up back in the player's face here at the par 5.
He certainly possesses a supercharger off the tee. We saw he pretty much stayed up with Dustin Johnson all Sunday, and that one's going to be just fine in the first cut. 5-tool player is Brooks Koepka. Up to 15.
After ringing the gong, Keegan Bradley plays his third.
Notre Dame, not to be.
Keegan was 4 under through 12, made a double on 13. It got us to bring up the name of Chuck Barris, the late host of the Gong Show. We're back with more stuff. All right, listen. Oh, jeez. That is the award-winning audio. That is back-to-back the umbrella and the splash. Maybe they found a new way to get a shotgun start going around here.
Yeah, well, round 2.
We just kind of bang the umbrella and go. Keegan had it going well early. 3 under his first 6 holes today. 3 over since. Trying to bring it back, make the cut. 14.
Russell Henley trying to get a share of the lead. Downhill for a quick putt. Man, took a peek. He'll stay at 9 under, but 5 under on his round, so feeding off his good week last week at the U.S. Open, and nice round today. 5 birdies, no bogeys, -9. Back over to 15.
And Bo Hostler, he got into this field last year on a sponsor exemption, and now he's just trying to manage his schedule this year. Ooh, sprinkler head. Man, this is we've had a lot in this group on this hole.
Well, it's easy to say in hindsight now, but those sprinklers are in a direct line you're putting at. Anyway, back to 13.
Patrick Reed going with the driver.
Yeah, this one out to the right, Craig.
Be careful. Well, I would have to assume that one's in the water. He's gone with this new helicopter finish to try and hit the cup, but he's 192nd in accuracy and certainly shown there. Up at the green, Jason Day. Test all the skill here. Fly it far enough, try and put some spin on, take all the slope out of. Oh my goodness. Fantastic shot. Shows why he's 3rd on tour in strokes gained around the greens. That was majestic.
With such a short backswing on that too, Craig.
Oh, I love the rapid acceleration. You try to elevate it, put some spin on it. Phenomenal.
That was a beautiful shot. Well, Bo Hostler running hot from the start of this hole. You're up on the tee. You think you're going to get on this green maybe in 1. It took him a whole bunch more. Like you said, Frank, right on his line. If he was thinking clearly.
Yeah, I think you're right there thinking clearly. This green is anything other than flat. I mean, that's why he was electing to use a putter. That when it's obvious you have 2 obstacles, not just 1 in front of you. Well,
Zach Johnson, the 3rd, 135 yards. Tucked hole location on the left. That should suit him. The guy is king of hole high. Good shot there. Didn't want to miss the green left. To 15.
Let everybody join the party up there at 15, including our co-leader, Matt Jones.
yeah, they play this as a call-up hole. Bunker's going to get some treatment today. Just 262 yards to the front of that green, but you can see the wave in it as we go back to the 13th and see what Patrick Reed's up to and where that ball went in, Craig.
Billy Ray Brown is down there.
Just trying to determine where that ball last crossed the hazard. He'll take 2 club lengths from there. I don't think it'll get him back to the fairway. Might get close, maybe to the first cut.
Patrick went out in 32, but bogey the previous hole. So currently
2 club lengths there, Craig. It looks like we're just in that first cut, though.
While we wait on Patrick and move up to 15.
And Keegan Bradley trying to save here. All right. That's what this hole's all about.
Adds up to 4, doesn't it?
You can ring it, you can rinse it, you can drop it in. There's been some interesting pars made around this lake.
Yeah, well, Zach made it from just about 50, 60 yards away from there.
but it was 2 holes ahead.
Exactly.
Right? It was on 17, not 15 here.
Now, Bo just wants to get this hole over and done with.
I mentioned Bo, a young player is trying to get settled, get their schedule going. He played 5 in a row going to Memorial and was just kind of spent a little bit. So he was so disappointed that he didn't play the U.S. Open. But the couple of weeks off, he felt gave him a little bit of energy and helped lead to his good opening round.
Well, he has talent to burn, that's for sure.
65 day 1. He was 1 shot off the lead. You get to 15 T, you think he can make a 3 and be tied for the lead. Instead, it's a double, and he is 3 back. Some of the joy of what happens and some of the sorrow of what happens around 15, 16, and 17. Look at the colleges represented on the board, including the Dogs on top of Brian Harmon and Russell Henley, 1st and 3rd.
Jason Kokrak, all kinds of issues over at 17. Third shot here at 16 from the drop zone. Will allow him to save a shot and drop just 1. Kokrak at 2 over. Gonna miss the cut here. Meanwhile at 18, Jamie Lovemark for birdie. One under for his opening 9 holes. Lovemark makes the turn. 3 under for the tournament. Brandon Harkins, 40 back over at 16. Yes. Birdies 13, 15, and 16 for the rookie. Late surge to move on to the cut line. Back over at 18, Harris English for birdie. Stay at 3 over with a lot of work to do on the other side of the golf course. And his second 9. This is Corey Connors for birdie over at 16. A player who performed so well at the Valspar Championship. Was the leader after each of the first 3 days before fading a bit on Sunday. But Connors inside the top 125 in the points race. Playoff bound at the moment. At the 18th, John Hofferberti to get to -3. Two over par second round for Ha. 2 under for the tournament. One of 74 players currently at -2 or better. And are bound for the weekend here at TPC River Highlands.
Next week, after the crowds are gone, the Travis Championship will still be making a difference across Connecticut. Hundreds of kids will be enjoying a summer camp experience at the Hole in the Wall Gang Camp, and other people in need will see promising developments in their lives and communities. At Travelers, we're proud that 100% of the net proceeds from the Travis Championship are donated to charity. On behalf of Travelers' 30,000 employees and our independent agents, thank you for your support. Welcome to the Travis Championship.
Now, Jason Day on 13 for the birdie.
Motherfucker.
It's an excellent bunker shot. 5.5 feet. This would get him back to even par for the day. 4 under for the tournament. Nicely done. It's world class around the greens and on the greens. Certainly evidence there. 15.
And that busy bunker finds our co-leader, Matt Jones. The second of the par 4.
not too bad there, really, Mike. I've seen a lot of guys try and land it in the top tier. He'll easily go over the back.
The distance isn't the problem, just where you get on this green. Up at 3.
About 18 feet for the birdie. Moving right to left.
It's got to go in, doesn't it?
Oh, man. Defying gravity. Undue delay. How long's he got there, Frank?
Well, he's allowed to walk to the hole and then 10 seconds. Obviously, you can't dawdle, just a normal walk. But that one looks like...
That ain't moving.
Yeah.
He's counting, look.
Yep, he's counting.
He's savvy. Savvy vet. 42-year-old.
Yeah. Sadly, even that is a...
Oh. Didn't problem.
Can you call for a picture?
It's now the new rules that you cause it to more didn't ground the club. I don't know. What do you think, Frank?
Well, now you've got to put the stopwatch on.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know when it started moving, but I know you got to 10s and then walked back around.
Yes, over here, I like that ball still. I counted to 10, and
I wasn't watching it.
It moved, so I just kept on counting, and it didn't go in. So I was just like, I'm just gonna keep counting. And then when I walked around, I'm like, that ball's still moving, and then it dropped. So it's almost like it stopped, moved, stopped, moved. That's the best way I can explain it.
Well, once it had come to rest, you know, I believe at that point, we got to put the ball back on the edge of the hole and put it in.
But if it was still moving,
I can't touch a moving ball.
yeah.
When it was my turn to putt, the ball was moving.
When
When it was my turn to putt, the ball was moving.
last week.
Should I just
Hey, guys,
can I play 2 balls?
Committee, the player putted the ball came to rest on the edge of the hole. He waited a little bit of time, within 10 seconds. He went up to tap the ball in. He said at that point the ball was moving on its own. It was oscillating. It wasn't oscillating, it was moving. And then it fell in the hole.
There was. Can I just play 2 balls and we can get going? I don't really care what I get.
Yeah, it did come to rest, but then within the 10 seconds it started moving again. He said.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the camera's right there. Let's just do that. Can I play 2 balls? Yeah. It was like.
Say again, Davis. So what are you saying? Okay. You guys think that's what happened?
It's on camera, I'm assuming. So I would like to play 2 balls.
Oh, that's fine.
Can I use the same ball?
Yeah. You go ahead. Okay.
And right there, so it won't fall in, correct?
Okay. And then just go ahead.
And I'll play 2 balls.
Yep, that's fine.
First one was 2, second one was 2. Do I have to declare anything here?
Hey guys, we're gonna play 2 balls here and look at the video.
And he's afraid it's moving again.
Yeah, I think they have it on TV. Okay, so I'm good? Yep.
All right, so that's the par tap. And Craig and Frank, you're with me here. In the decisions book, 16-2, ball overhanging hole. You have the 10 seconds, you guys address that. If by then the ball hasn't fallen into the hole, it's deemed to be at rest. If the ball subsequently falls into the hole, which is what happened there, the player is deemed to have holed out with his last stroke and must add a penalty stroke to his score for the hole. Otherwise, there is no penalty under this rule. That's in the decisions book 16-2 relative to the 10 seconds and once you walk up to it without undue delay.
So we're fairly certain it's going to be recorded as a 4.
I would think so, yes. But again, the smart play the 2. Don't stand out there for 10 minutes until everybody weighs in from here and there and all around the golf world, and let the committee make the decision before he signs his scorecard when it comes into scoring after he finishes this round.
Yeah, it was very transparent with that. He visually counted using his fingers as well, obviously for the 10 seconds. So by our guesstimation, the ball fell in after the 10 seconds.
And Aaron Baddeley was there. And then D.A. Points, the third player in this group, was the one who was vocal and spoke up, almost backing Zach Johnson cause there to perhaps be given a birdie. Yeah. Let's go back to the 10 count.
Once again, now the ball's there, but he is allowed to make his walk towards the ball before the 10 seconds starts.
Right.
So the 10 seconds does not start until he's there. So as Zach walks to the ball,
so right about here,
so,
right?
and he starts counting.
So we're going to start a stopwatch here on it, and you see he will come out as the camera comes out, and he's counting, but he's counting a bit quicker there. So that's 10 seconds right about there when he starts to walk.
Then he walks to the other side of the ball, and now the ball's going to go in.
And it does appear, you see, he doesn't ground his putter, and that rule has changed, we know.
And as he said, he didn't know what to do. I mean, he proceeded in the right way.
And D.A. Points was the one who was on the way other side of the green, ready to walk over to four and say, "Give me an official."
But yeah, we will get an official that will review that inside our TV trucks as play will continue.
Yeah, I think it was handed back, to be honest with you.
And smart by Zach, too, and a great lesson, Craig, for folks out there who aren't sure what's happening at your club playing golf. Play a second ball, go call your pro, your PGA professional, and help sort it out that way. Keep pace of play going.
No question about it. We move up to the 13th hole, and Brooks Koepka in a spot of bother here, Billy Ray.
He certainly is. He hit a 3-iron, he had 247 yards and pulled it and hit the tree left of the green. Now he's got to keep it low, but he has plenty of green to work with. Wonderful touch here.
Well, the short game was certainly on the side last week, and that was a good one. I didn't even quite know how it's going to react coming out of the rough. Now Bo Hostler at 16. This is for par. Up the hill, swinging right to left. It's to remain 3 back. Yes, sir. It's well done. That double bogey at the previous hole. 23-year-old. 15.
Oh, we were watching everything going on at 3 with Zach Johnson. We left our co-leader with a putt for birdie for the outright lead. Matt Jones will make a 4. He cleans that up and remains tied with Brian Harmon, part of today's morning wave, 64-66. Russell Henley, front of the 15th. This is live.
Ooh. Skips it through what is really a Barrett's green at 3 different levels. It was well played.
Russell Henley won off the lead. And we drop it back to the 14th.
Jason Day from 140 yards. Lie looks good. Front right hole location today. Well, that's a good shot. Again, quick putt, but that's a good shot by Jason Day. Currently at -4. Going to move up that leaderboard. Over 13.
And the 4th shot for Patrick Reed.
Pretty lucky his ball stayed in bounds. The boundary marker is just about a foot from where he played the shot.
Coming back down the slope, indeed.
And that would be some kind of par after driving the ball in the water off the tee, nearly out of bounds with his 3rd.
And Billy Ray, Chris Pratt, and Bryce Dallas Howard return to star in the next chapter of one of the most exciting movies in history on a mission to rescue dinosaurs from an extinction-level event, Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, in theaters today. If you're ever in this part of the world, Dinosaur State Park in Rocky Hill, Connecticut, just 4 miles from here, is a really neat spot to take the kids.
Gotta love dinosaurs.
Oh, who doesn't? Who doesn't? Co-leader 16.
Matt Jones, 8-iron. Quite a nice little draw to that front hole location, just on 7 up on a little plateau. And that will funnel back off to the front of the green. Be an awesome pitch up and over a little rise.
What the fuck?
Ball striking's been beautiful. It's only his 4th green he's missed all week. Patrick Reed. Troubles continue here, Billy Ray. This for the par, but if he makes it, he's still 2 shots outside the cut line.
And he's still grinding away. And Mike, you talk about Dinosaur State Park. One of my first years here, I went back there and took an imprint with some plaster and had to carry it. My wife took it and had to carry it all the way back to Houston, about 25 pounds. But when you said that, I thought about back in the day.
You're not saying you're a dinosaur, though, are you, Billy?
Well, sort of.
You know, Craig.
Champion here in 1991, you know.
Did you say hi to your relatives, Bill?
Jeez. Just 9 feet here for Patrick.
Yeah, coming back up the hill. There's a little break from right to left here. What a save it would be.
I expected it to break, and it did not. 6 in the FedEx Cup standings coming into the week. It has only missed 4 cuts and in danger of missing one here this week. Disappointed after that great week last week. Solo 4th. Now Brooks Koepka for the birdie.
And this little putt's got some speed. After watching the putt of Patrick Reed, I don't think you can give this hole away, but I still think it's probably inside left here, back down the slope.
Damn it. Fuck.
And no doubt there, it hammers it in.
You know, that 3 months away from the game, he said he fell in love with the game again. Not only missed it, but he really needed it. And it certainly showed last week. To the 4th.
And at the long par 4, playing 474 yards today, Zach Johnson second.
Used to be par 5 this. It's got a very small green. And that's a great shot from Johnson.
And that 8 under par score that you see is with Zach Johnson being credited with a par 4 at the 3rd hole as the conversation continues. Damon Green, his caddy, terrific player in his own right.
So let's say it's 2 feet. Let's say it's 2 or a foot and a half. And I go to tap it in, that ball. If you'd have marked it and reset it down, yeah, and then it went in, it's in. So if it was 2-footer, and you mark it, and you reset the whole thing, and you went around. Let's say it's 1 foot, and I don't mark it. Okay, I don't mark it, and I go to tap it in, and as I address it, and the ball moves and rolls in. Well, that's a different deal because it's not sitting on the edge of the hole. Why is the edge of the hole? Because that's the whole 10-second thing about the ball on the edge of the hole. Okay. So, okay. We looked at the tape, and everyone feels good about it. I totally understand that. Close. Can somebody come in the scoring and talk about it? Yeah, absolutely. John, thanks. Cool.
That's cool. That's good there. So, a conversation.
I'm sure it's going to be a 4, and that's totally okay because it was 13 seconds. But.
So it's interesting that from their conversation, it would lead you to believe there would be a 4. From what Zach said at the end of that. But what we talked about with reading the decision there, because the ball dropped in the hole, he had not marked it. After the 10 seconds, there's a question if it's going to be a 5 or not. So they have it figured out. They looked at the tape. They know it's 13 seconds. That's what Zach said. He wants to make sure that someone from the committee, one of the rules officials, is there in the scoring trailer with him so he doesn't sign for an incorrect scorecard, that they get it right.
Yeah, there's a little bit of confusion there. Obviously, the couple of rules are appearing to overlap. That's why Zach is saying he didn't want to hit a moving ball. So that's why he wants the clarification. Back to Jason Day.
Yep. My head's spinning. Give him a 4.
Come on, we were feeling pretty confident about being cleared there. But you're right, Matt. I'm with you.
The silliness of the rules. All right, Jason Day down the hill. Pretty makeable putt, really. Not a whole lot of movement, just a little to the left. Yeah, nice putt. So Jason Day gets to 5 under after that slow start, turning at 1 over par, back-to-back birdies. Get the par 4 drivable par 4 coming up. Let's take another look at what Zach is talking about.
Yeah, back here at the 4th green. You heard Zach in conversation with John Much, the PGA Tour official, some of that conversation was when you mark the ball, it's a bit different set of circumstances, and we'll be going back over to the Open here in about a month over in Scotland, and you see that